Hey, I think this is working now. Happy Halloween. Welcome, everybody. I'm recording this in two places. So, for those of you that are live and those of you that are here at the recording, welcome. My name is Jamie Wozni, and I'm happy to have you here. And welcome to those of you that are popping on live. I wanted to impromptu come on here to share with you um, one of the solutions for not feeling heard. I know for me personally, this has been a massive area of challenge in my life. And so I would love if you guys experience not feeling heard, um, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat because I have a solution for us today. Oh God, I would like my throat chakra. For those of you that don't talk in chakras, your throat area just like tight in a ball. You don't feel like you're getting your point across. You feel like you're in a bubble, speaking to no one. Not feeling heard can also feel like not feeling received, not feeling impactful. Hello, everybody that's joining live, and hello to you guys in the recording. I'm recording this in two places right now. Happy Halloween. I'm dressed as a hippie. No, this is just my normal garb. So I'm gonna wait for just a couple people to pop in here. And I want to talk to you guys just for a few minutes today about the pain of not feeling heard and a solution that I have uncovered in my life that has brought me massive relief. I wish someone would have told me this years ago, which is why we're here today. So I'll just let people come in and out while we speak. So thank you guys for joining live. Not feeling heard. I'm going to speak to this in the context of masculine and feminine energies. We all have both archetypal energies within us. They're natural to us human beings. We don't learn about this in school, okay? Feminine speaks through embodiment. Feminine speaks through her feelings, through her senses. And again, whatever gender you connect with, this is just the language of the feminine. How frustrating is it when you don't know the language of the feminine? You're not taught this in school. I know I certainly wasn't. We don't have role models for this. And then you walk around and you're like, why am I not getting my needs met? Why am I not living the life of my dreams? Why are my relationships not as fulfilling as I know they can be? But you've got this knowing inside. It's possible. It might be like a tiny little small knowing, right? Masculine is the energy that we all embody, that is the doer. It goes, it analyzes, it thinks, it leads, it gets shit done. Okay? Why did I not feel heard? I didn't have an example of how to speak to people around me in the feminine, because that was my nature, to get my desires met. This doesn't mean controlling other people so that you get your desires met. This means, how can I express what's going on inside of me now? If we experience, God, all the things, trauma when we're young, if we experience gaslighting, if we experience invalidation, if we feel not seen, if we feel not received, right? Ignored in our emotions, ignored in our internal experience, we won't know how to communicate in the feminine. Okay, so how do we do this? We do this, it takes great vulnerability and courage. We say, I'm not seen, I'm not heard, but are you speaking? Are you revealing yourself in a way that can be received? We're not doing it purposefully. I believe we're doing it innocently because of this lack of knowledge of how to speak in this language, masculine, feminine language. So we must become courageous. We must be willing to be vulnerable. Now, this is a journey. I've gone on a 10-year journey for this. Okay. But the feminine within all of us reveals the truth of its heart. Okay. So if I am trying to be heard and I'm trying to be received and I'm just in my masculine and it's not my nature to be out of balance in my masculine and this happened to me with me and my partner, I'm just directing orders. You might be doing it kindly. You might say, can you please put that blanket over there? I like it folded over there like that. So you're being kind and you're like, God, I've asked this person who has a masculine essence 79 times to fold the blanket this way and put it over there. And it's as if I'm talking to a wall. Does anybody know that feeling? And you're like, I'm being kind. I'm being patient. Right? Okay. This is where the courage comes in. This is where the vulnerability comes in. We say instead how the folding of the blanket in the place we don't like it makes us feel. Not after the fact, in the moment. Okay, so not rude, just, like we would do a sound of like, like that's the sound of, I don't like that blanket like that, folded like that, or I don't know what it would be in the moment. The feminine expresses the truth of her heart. The truth of my heart in that moment is, ugh. So the feminine doesn't have to, this is really important if you guys are into this conversation, she doesn't have to shame, blame, defend, or attack. I don't have to say, you're a stupid idiot for folding that blanket like that. You better put that thing in a better fold where it belongs, right? You guys hear that? That's shaming. That's speaking in the masculine. And then if we're not speaking in the feminine, we feel really resentful. So if you feel that feeling of resentment, which then makes us feel even more unworthy of getting our desires met, our needs met, et cetera, okay? So when I was first doing this, if you're new to this conversation, hello to those of you guys that are here live, I was so embarrassed. I said to my teacher, are you kidding me? You want me to make a sound in reaction to how I feel? That's crazy. No one does that. And I remember at the time he said to me, well, you can just reveal your ow. So you guys can even use that word where this wouldn't really work in the context of the blanket, but say somebody hurts your feelings genuinely. We don't have to shame, blame, attack, or defend. We can just go, oh, ow. And if that's too much like that, I just did it quiet, but ooh. Why is this important? This isn't just some fun little Halloween thing I'm sharing with you. This is life-changing information. The feminine feels. The feminine is the unseen. The feminine is the darkness within all of us, okay? The masculine is the leader. Masculine is let's think, let's go, let's do. We're hunting and gathering. We go, we do the lion. We're doing the thing. It's the thing, okay? That's the masculine. So in order for the masculine, whose nervous systems are not as sensitive as the feminine's nervous systems, to understand what you need, to understand what your desires are, we must show our heart without shaming or blaming. Just pure, authentic, and even you guys for the gratitude, for the joy, like, oh wow, I'm so pleased right now, or oh, the blanket was folded in a beautiful position on the couch. I'm over exaggerating for this conversation, and maybe you're super pleased in that moment. But how we actually, this conversation is multi-layered. Take some of my courses, spend more time with me, reach out if you want to know specifics here. But how we can finally feel heard is to just allow a truthful, authentic expression in the moment without shaming, blaming, attacking, or defending. How did it make you feel? Okay, positive feedback or quote unquote negative feedback. And then what happens is that the masculine being around you, whether it's a friend, gender doesn't matter, or your lover, or your parent, can start to understand. You're showing them your internal landscape. I loved that. I didn't love that. I'm not shaming you or blaming you or telling you you're wrong or bad, but it gives the masculine around us a compass. Oh, she liked that. Let me do more of that. Oh, I feel heard in my needs. I'm being received. I'm making an impact on my surroundings. And again, you guys, this has taken me years of healing trauma, of releasing the fact that, or the belief that I thought that I was too sensitive, too emotional, and too much. I didn't realize this was like a secret code, a secret language that could help you get what you want in life. And especially if we're told you're too much, you're too sensitive, then we hide that part of us that's in pain or that's having a reaction or that wants to make a sound. So of course, even still today, me personally, I'll be like, that was weird. I'll make a sound or I'll make a this or I'll make a that. And try it out in safe ways. So this morning, I was sitting on the couch and I was really comfortable. And I was like, I don't want to get up, but my coffee's cold and I really want to heat up my coffee. So I'm going to try this masculine feminine thing and see. Masculine would have said to my partner, can you heat up my coffee? Or I would love to have my coffee heated up. Can you heat up my coffee? It's just very directive, no emotion. So I thought, okay, how do I feel about this? I was like, man, my coffee's cold. That was my genuine feeling in the moment. Oh man, my coffee's cold. What's my desire? Right? So the I would love, but with feeling behind it. Oh man, my coffee's cold. I will love my coffee heated up, but I don't feel like getting up. Expressing how I felt in the moment. I'm so bummed my coffee's cold. I would love this heated up and I don't feel like getting up. And guess what? My man came right over, grabbed my coffee, put it in the thing, and handed it back. It was as if, and he was just doing a bunch of stuff. He's like, boop, and I was like, that was magic. Like I was received. I was heard. I had an impact on my surroundings. Now, you guys, this is opposite of how I grew up. I didn't have examples of people who were courageous enough innocently. I don't blame anyone around me. We're all learning about this stuff now. It's new agey. We're moving into higher levels of consciousness, but I didn't have anybody around me that was a master at getting their needs and desire, knowing what their needs and desires were and getting them met by communicating via how you feel in the moment, feminine energy. So it was either I'm going to direct something at you, kind, or because I'm pissed off now because I've said it 1,000 times and I feel like I'm speaking to the wall. I've been there. Have you been there? Right? I don't know how many times I need to say this. How are you not hearing me? It was either that or what most of our ancestors probably did was just shut down out of defeat. No one can hear me. I guess I just have to do this stuff myself. And then we're in a very imbalanced masculine, wounded masculine society, which causes a lot of global issues, right? So this has been something I've been experimenting with for a long time. And if you don't feel heard, that's what we're talking about today for those of you that have just joined. If you don't feel heard, if you don't feel received, if you don't feel like you're impacting your environment, what my invitation for you is try this in small ways with your coffee, in ways that are not high stakes at first. Like for me, I'm just a wild spiritual woman and I'll go high stakes right away. So I tried this with my dad years ago. My dad knows this story and it was a beautiful story, but he was doing something that was upsetting me. I went to visit him and he was doing something that was upsetting me. And when I was a child, all I knew was to speak from my trauma. And all I knew was to speak from wounded masculine, which would just yell, would be like, stop doing this. Stop doing this. I told you that this is too much. Stop. Or something like that, because the energy was so much and I didn't know what to do. Helpless to be heard, helpless to change the circumstances around me. How the fuck do I get this to stop? And I remembered all these teachings I've been learning over the last few years about how to actually be heard, impact my surroundings, be received when we come back into that feminine, masculine balance within us. And I said, we got out of the car and I said to myself, which I taught in the beginning of this live, okay, James, don't shame, don't blame, don't attack, and don't defend. Let's be courageous right now, sweet girl. In the name of seeing if this works, let's reveal the truth of your heart. And I said to my sweet dad, I said, Dad, because I knew he was just in a pattern and I was in a pattern. And I said, Dad, when you say what you said, neutrally observing it, when you say what you said, and I just expressed how I felt. I said, I jumped out of my body. I felt scared. I felt helpless. And I mean, I can't even remember. I just remember so many feelings all at once. I was like, I'm having a trauma response. There's so much anxiety in my body. And do you know what my dad said right away? Hi, guys, for those of you that are joining live, I see you. My dad said, I don't want to make you feel like that, Jamie. I'm sorry. I won't do that anymore. Do you guys know what that is like? For 30 some years of my life, feeling like I couldn't get my pain across. I had no vessel for it. I had no language for it. I didn't know how to get you to hear that you're hurting me. That I, as many of you are probably on this call, am a sensitive being of light. My feelings are bigger than most because I have these gifts of tuning in. But for the first time, I said, let's see, this could go horribly wrong. And you guys, if you're on these explorations, if you're on this journey too, let it be messy for a while. This example with my father went incredibly well in that moment. He heard me, he received me. I felt safe. Oh my God, I took care of myself. I revealed my heart. He heard me, he said, I don't want to hurt you. And this wasn't our pattern. This wasn't our pattern. But again, I didn't have the language to know how to give this person a chance to change, right? I forgot my point that I was just trying to make before that. Oh, let it be messy. Let it be imperfect. Give yourself a year. Give yourself 2 years to say, people aren't used to me speaking to them in this way. So people around me that I have brought this to, it's messy for me. Like, bless my boyfriend, one time I was trying this and it came across as a 4-year-old having a tantrum because I was trying to find that vessel in myself, and we talked about it and I was like, okay, fair enough. let me correct this and adjust this and shift this a little bit. But I know for me, I needed the permission of watching my mentors, of watching people around me reveal the divine creative expression that is coming through you in the moment, that is just raw energy of pure enthusiasm, or pure pleasure, or pure delight, or pure desire, or pure pain. And do I have the courage to start to show people that? We don't have to do it in extreme ways. We can do it through love. We can do it through our heart. We can do it without shaming, blaming, attacking, or defending. We can do it a little bit at a time and start to retrain our nervous system. Our nervous system clocks that. It's like working out at the gym. Our nervous system goes, all right, that was okay with dad. That was okay with boyfriend. That was okay with mom. That was okay with clients. Okay, new way to be heard. So I invite you, if you, which all of us I believe do, some of us I believe have more of a feminine essence than others. You know, if you're very sensitive, if you love to dance, if you love to play, if you love beauty, if you're intuitive, if you go with the flow, if you have depth and darkness within you, you identify more with feminine energy. And I invite you to see if you can start expressing what you just getting to know what you desire and what you need is first step. So just journaling and writing down what are my needs and desires. And then just notice, where am I barking orders? You're probably not doing it like an asshole or rude, but just saying like, hey, can you do this? Or hey, can you do that? Or I would love if this is done. That's very masculine. Instead, how does it make you feel if the thing was done? How does it make you feel if the thing wasn't done? What would you love, right? Me this morning. Oh man, my coffee's cold. I would love if that thing was heated up. Oh, I don't want to get up. As opposed to like, could you heat up my coffee? Right? And if you're around other masculine energies, that's just gonna too much masculine. Okay, so I am living proof of the possibility of being heard when you rebalance your masculine and feminine energies. I know the pain of not being heard, of not being received, of not impacting your surroundings. I've had the pleasure, it's funny I say pleasure because it hasn't always been easy. You guys, I know this path can create a lot of pain too. I've had the pleasure and the pain of healing this area of my life and starting to see priceless shifts. Priceless shifts. I felt loved by my dad in that moment. I felt cared for. He just never had, again, the language for it until I learned how to speak to someone like that. So if this conversation resonates with you, if you feel the way that I felt, if you want to be heard, to be seen, to feel like you're not just screaming at a wall, to impact your surroundings, to be received, to be treated like the queen or the king that you are, I am leading a course, a live course in 2 weeks. It starts the second week of November. The link is in my bio. Okay, it's called Feminine Reclamation. And the website is jamiewosny.com/feminine reclamation, jamiewosny.com/feminine reclamation, or the link in my bio, Feminine Reclamation. If you click on the webpage, read it, see if it makes you feel light, see if it makes you feel expansive. When something makes you feel light, when something feels expansive, when it's like a ooh, right? There I am speaking to you, so you know to come in if you like the ooh. There's a John Bellion song where he goes, ooh. I'll have to think of it and share it. If you read the page and there's a resonance, then join me. There is contribution there for you. And when something feels light, there are resources in the quantum field of life available for you to support you on this journey. So it's an intimate 8-week container. We meet for 90 minutes once a week. It's holy, it's sacred, it's magical, it's potent. I have been exploring these healing gifts for lifetimes and in this capacity for the last 10 years. And it is a delight of mine and an honor to serve you in shifting these energies so that you can be heard. That's one gift of this, so that you can live the life that you came here to live and be all of you, right? You can, I forget, not Mary Oliver, I forget who it is, but die complete, to live in the divine fullness, to live in the feminine essence that is your nature. And so it's really important to be in community, so you're not doing this alone. And it's important to be around others who have gone on this journey before you. So if you want to feel heard and received and shine and be vibrant, then join me. If you guys have taken one of my previous containers, Lioness or Inspiration, you will know because you were there with me. Message me privately because you have a discount code that you can apply to Feminine Reclamation. Thank you guys for joining me. Yes, I will save this live, my love. Yes, so many good tips in here to write down. And I will also be putting this on my YouTube channel as well. But if I can support you guys in any way, DM me. I have a gazillion courses, meditations, lives, one-on-one work, and I'd really be happy to support you. So happy Halloween. May you be heard in your true essence. I love you. Thank you guys for joining. Hopefully I will see some of you there, and link is in my bio, and have a beautiful Halloween and the rest of your day. Take care, everybody.